1,000 people in an iron box. 18 years I've hated the train. 18 years I've waited for this moment.
This is your world. The train saved humanity.
The engine lasts forever. The population must always be kept in balance.
I said sit down.
Passengers, eternal order flow from the sacred engine. We must occupy our preordained position.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Bad Potatoes Podcast. I'm Travis. Above me is Michael. To my side is Roy. Then up top above him is our special guest Steve from the
Sweet Child of Time pod.
Yep.
That's it.
Child
Hello.
I like that name.
And on the Sweet Child of
Thank
Time, you guys review TV shows, and you guys are reviewing 4 different shows right now?
Well, we don't actually review. We
recap.
recap.
Yeah,
and,
sorry.
Yeah, scene by scene recap, deep dive, and only shows we like. So far we've done season 1 of Wheel of Time, season 1 of 1899. We're doing season 1 of Dark currently. We'll keep doing Dark like every week, but that gives us 30 weeks right there.
Holy cow.
Once Wheel of Time season 2 drops, then we got that. And I'll probably do something weekly when I run out of Dark. I'll move on to something else. I've done stuff like Time Bandits and the movie Time After Time. We've done Ninja Steel, Power Rangers Ninja Steel just for the hell of it.
Oh, okay.
We only do stuff we want to do and just have fun.
Yeah, I listened to a couple episodes of The Dark, and that's what, when I got introduced to your podcast, it's the first ones I listened to is the Dark ones. And it's you and your co-host?
Yeah, that's right. That's I have a different co-host for each show I do.
Okay.
With Dark, I've got Lindsay Dunn, and she's actually the brains behind this whole thing. Her podcast and her website and YouTube series is called One of My Stories. It's like the number 1 of my stories.com. And she already has all the Dark recaps written out that she has done. She's already reviewed them all. She does movie reviews. She reviews movies. She's already seen Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and already reviewed it and all that crap. So
That's awesome.
she's a great co-host to have. It's like a no-brainer. So I just come on and talk to her basically.
Yeah.
Phyllis.
You guys had a real good dynamic, and you guys both sound great, so I was like, wow.
We're the real deal, baby.
Yeah, real deal.
But yeah, I listened to y'all's show too. I listened to, it was just yesterday's episode, as a matter of fact, Parasite.
Oh, nice.
And yes, I wanted to check that out, to check you guys out as well. And yeah, that was a cool movie to review. At least 2 of y'all thought it was cool. 1 of y'all didn't think it was quite so cool.
I liked there's some of it, about half. The first part was boring, but
Yeah.
I picked it specifically for him to like. And
I liked the end.
It's weird.
Oh,
like once it got interesting, it was cool, but the first part was rough.
Yeah, I feel like that's why we kind of started this, to get each other to watch movies none of us have seen, or yeah, because he's not a big foreign guy, so we're like, all right, let's pick foreign movies for him, see if you like them, but yeah, so far, I mean, we're at 12 episodes in. I think every episode we're getting a little bit better and better, and I think this guest sharing is going to help us a lot get better.
Yeah, it's great. That's actually how I started. You were saying you wanted to show movies to your friend. That's exactly how I started mine. It's called Sweet Child of Time because it was initially about the show Wheel of Time, and my friend James, my friend James, who's runs his own podcast. He runs multiple podcasts, Marshland Media Network. He's a rapper, Marshland Monster. So I got him to watch Wheel of Time with me, and we recapped it scene by scene. And so he was the sweet child that didn't know anything about Wheel of Time. So but then after we finished that, it was like, oh, well, I guess I'm stuck with this name since I have, since I've already, it's going on here and it seems to be going well. So I stuck with the name just for the hell of it.
That answers one of my questions that I had for you. I was going to ask you how you got the name.
There you go.
I have.
Question down. There you go.
Did you guys want to ask him any more questions?
Yeah, me and you talked for a second before these guys jumped on. He said he'd been doing this for about 2 years. Was it because of the pandemic? You were bored and pretty much wanted to show your buddy.
Yeah. So I originally started listening to this podcast called Grift Horse, and another James, the Marshland Monster. He was also a listener of Grift Horse. We were both fans, so we would both write in letters, and on the Discord, we struck up a friendship. He taught me how to get my stuff published, get my music on Spotify. So I just kind of followed suit with him. And then since he was a podcaster, he invited me on his podcast to promote my music. And I had such a good time, like on his podcast. I was like, I'm all set up here to do podcasts, so I'm going to do it. So that's how it started.
That's cool.
And once you get started, it kind of gets easier and easier to start new ones or talk to strangers. It helps a lot. Sorry,
that's true. Yeah, talking to different people is great.
What would you say is the hardest part about running a podcast?
I guess finding an audience. I mean, it's really hard to do that. It's cliche to say, but it's true. It's really hard to find an audience. And I found the best way to do that is not to try to advertise that I have a podcast out there, but to try to find people who are fans of the particular show that I'm recapping. So right now at Dark, I'm on the Dark subreddit. I'm on the Dark Ways subreddit, the 1899 subreddit. Anything I do on Instagram, I hashtag Dark and Dark Ways. So, that's what I would say to anybody podcasting. If you're podcasting about insects, go to r/insects.
Yeah.
You don't go to r/podcasts to promote your podcast in general. So that's hard. It's hard though. It's really hard to get people to follow and come back.
Yeah, I think getting people to come back is a hard part because people will check you out, but sometimes they already have a list of podcasts they're already listening to, and they might follow, but they might not listen to the. So it's
exactly.
Yeah, like with our podcast, we have certain movies that get way more traction than other movies that we pick, and it's just like, well, your episode sucked. You're picking. It's not very good.
We haven't had anybody say that yet, but the numbers don't lie, I guess.
Yeah, we also have like a ton of friends between the three of us, and it's like, yes, we're gonna get so many people to like follow us, and that's not the case at all.
Right.
It's like, thanks, guys.
I guess another thing I should mention that's tough about podcasting, which you guys know, is the preparation for it. Like usually me and Lindsay talk for 2 hours. Like last night, we talked for 2 hours for our podcast. But before that, I watched Dark 3 times and I took notes. And every time I would think about it, I would grab my phone and start looking at stuff. And, I probably put in about 4 to 5 hours of research for that 2-hour talk we had. Here in this case, I watched a movie that was a 2 hours and 6-minute movie. I didn't choose well. I don't like long movies, and this one hit the 2-hour mark. I watched it 1.5 times and took notes. So that's something that you have to consider for a podcast is you got to put in time ahead of time. You can't just hit record. I mean, people do that. They just turn the mic on and hit record and start talking, but you really should do some prep work.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And
oh man,
to fit in that prep work, isn't easy when you have, like you said, you're a
job.
dad and a job and
yeah,
but it's got
just a life in general.
Get done. Yeah,
but it's fun in the end. Like I love doing this with my friends.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah,
it gives me a reason to hang out with these guys and get to meet new people. It's awesome, and watch movies I've never seen before. So
yeah, I gripe a lot about having to watch these Japanese and Korean movies, but I'd never seen them before, and it's so cool to. Now I have watched them.
Yeah, and then especially this, the director of this movie was a director of the last movie we watched, so you get to see like his kind of traditional, I guess, since he's doing Korean, like full Korean production, and now he's like kind of working with American production, American actors in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Kim.
Mr. Kim was in there too.
Yeah, he's the drug addict.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. And I saw this movie was like 65% English, which means it was 35% another language. So that's kind of cool that's how the dialogue worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool. They had like the little translator robot. It's like Google Translate
Love that.
in the future. But at some points they show what it's translating, and then towards the end you kind of get the gist, like, oh, they're translating through this machine, and then it just disappears completely.
I kind of like I do like that though. They like showed like, okay, this is how we're communicating, but they don't make it like a whole thing where they have to show it every time they're communicating. It's like, okay, this is how we're communicating, and then you'll get it the rest of the movie, so they don't have to bust it out every time. And
they probably lost the prop, and
and they're like, just they'll get it, they'll understand it, hopefully.
And this was actually Bong Joon Ho's first English movie.
Yeah.
Oh, smashing job then, Bong. Hell yeah.
Because he for Korean movies, he makes so many good Korean movies. Some of my, like 3 of my all-time favorite movies are his Korean movies. But then I watched this, I think when it like a year after it came out. And I didn't know he was the director, but my first time, this is my second time watching, but my first time watching, I loved it just as much.
Yeah, it's a good one.
This is my first time finishing it. I started it a long time ago with my mom, and then I don't remember the ending at all. So then I watched the ending. I was like, I don't know. It was cool. I like the concept of it though.
Yeah, and for people who haven't seen it, it's like a hierarchy of. So the world freezes over, and everybody is in this train, and the train from front to back, each cart kind of moves up in the world. So when you're in the back of the train, you're getting scraps of the scraps, and when you're in the front, you're eating steaks. Well, quote unquote steaks. It could be people.
Oh, go ahead, Travis.
And according to the director, the train is supposed to be 10 miles long.
Holy cow.
Okay, I was wondering about that when they were going on those switchbacks and like how long it was taking them to pass each other. I was like, that's on a pretty long ways here. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
10 miles, eh? That's
what he said.
It's a remarkable feat there, Mr. W.
It is.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
I mean, good thing they called it the eternal engine, because you think of the engine that could pull 10-mile train, it's got to be the internal engine.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
We believe the the writers.
Yeah. But then it's what's his name? The Chris. There's a lot of Chris's.
Chris Evans. But also, we should tell people the name of the movie is Snowpiercer.
We never said that.
We just completely missed that.
Whoops. And I suggested this movie. I should say that too.
Yeah,
because I've never seen it.
Really?
I've always heard how good it was, and I remember seeing the trailers in the theater sometime in 2012, maybe 2013. So I remember seeing a trailer for this in the theater and thinking it was a cool but it was just another trailer. Never saw it, and I've always heard good things about it. And so here we are now. I finally got to see it, and with you guys.
Yeah, thank you for picking such a good movie too.
Yeah, great choice, actually.
Yeah, I was saving the title for the end, though, as the climax. The movie is called... I'm just kidding. Let people piece it together, and at the end, you tell them what it is.
The first thing that come to my mind when I watched this movie is the Hunger Games, but in a train.
Yeah,
we said that too, watching it. Hunger Games.
That's funny.
Yep. When it comes to the plot, I think it's more like Speed meets Highlander 2, because it's the exact same plots just mashed together.
Oh man,
Speed
Highlander.
You're saying Highlander? I'm like, yeah, Speed.
I like Speed.
Yeah, Speed was awesome.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it, but it's like the exact same concept except of Highlander 2, except you put it on a train that cannot stop, and it's basically those two things smashed together.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I give it a pass.
Yeah, it was awesome. Another thing that I saw at the beginning of the movie, they're all like eating these protein bars, the gelatin
Right.
bricks.
Oh yeah.
And I remember, like, I saw it and I was like, I want to try that. That looks
Yeah.
good. It looked like, Jello, and that was like, it's just like everything you need,
Yes.
substance, and you just like eat it, and you're like good. And I'm like, I wish I had those.
It's like the Elvish bread
know?
from Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
Just
Yeah, there you go.
everything you need, just in that little piece of it.
yeah, and then you find out it's made out of bugs.
Yeah, just thousands of crickets
Which
ground
is
up.
tons of protein.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a normal thing to do. I mean, you could say lobsters and crabs are kind of like in that same
Yeah.
category as roaches, so why not?
Therefore, you don't eat the shell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a small off-topic story is I had advanced biology class, and to get extra credit in that, our teacher was offering if you could eat a worm, you get extra credit. And it was like
Right.
5 points, and I needed like 25 points to pass. So I just asked her if I can eat multiple worms, can do each worm, and she's like, no, that don't work. And I was like, what if I do it in like every like tour me around to other classes, I'll eat it in front of other classes. And she's like, okay. So I ended up eating like 6 worms that day and got a passing grade.
Wow.
I did the same thing.
What?
we
I was failing science, and the teacher, he let me eat 5 worms for 25 extra credit. It was a dude teacher. It was 5 worms for 25 points. And I tried it with ranch and fry sauce.
Oh, jeez.
That would made it worse.
Ranch was
FYI,
gonna make it worse.
Yeah, I
Just eat the worm by itself.
I just ate mine
It's a
raw.
lot.
Slurped it
Yeah.
down.
You know who also did that? We know him.
Yeah,
Ben.
he was with me when he did it.
Oh,
My friend
That's
did
funny.
it next to me because we had the same class, but he chewed all his worms. And every time he chewed it, he would gag. And I was like, just like, I'm just swallowing it whole. Just do it like you don't see me gagging. But every single class we went to, he chewed it and was like trying his hardest. And I'm just like, I don't know why he keeps chewing it.
I don't know.
But
It's
we,
Ben.
You guys would have.
we both passed.
Y'all would have no issue on this train whatsoever. You're like, hand me more of those bars. I love this shit.
Like the guy that cooks them, he's like, you know what these are made of, huh? He's like, I eat them. Like, you have to. Like, he didn't
Like,
care.
yeah.
Man, that guy just lost his mind in there, though.
Yeah, he did.
It's in isolation.
But and then, so the movie, they're trying to take over the train and do a revolt, and there was two past revolts, right? There's two
That's
past
what they
revolts,
say,
and
yeah.
he was a third revolt, Curtis, because there was I forgot the name of the first revolt, and then
The
It
seven
was
dude.
a revolt of the 7.
Revolt of the
Which I got a
Seven.
fun fact for you. So
Yeah.
did you see the part where he's explaining to his daughter who that Inuit woman is?
Mm-hmm.
It's that's her mom is the leader.
I had a
Is who
feeling.
revolted.
Okay.
That kind
A
of
little
makes
bit of
sense.
lore for this. Okay. Where did you learn that? Like in the TV show or the novel or what?
I have never seen the TV show, and the graphic novel don't follow it. I just was on Google for hours last night. And
Okay.
Bong Joon Ho, he said that's what it's implied, which
Okay.
is the truth of it.
Yeah, I don't remember the first rebellion, but I do know like the whole reason this happens is because the government released some kind of anti-global warming chemical called CW7, and so like they put too much of it out there, and so the world froze to death instead, except for these folks on the train. They get to ride for ever. They've been riding for 17 years at this point.
Yeah, and then that they said that the guy, the guy that made the train. Sorry, I'm blanking on his name.
Wilford?
Wilford, yeah.
Mr. Wilford.
Mr. Wilford, yeah, he knew something was up before, so he had this train over designed because everybody was saying like it's a little overkill on it, and the train goes around the world once a year, and it goes literally around the world. U.S.
He's like,
what's up?
Said he's like the Elon Musk of this world.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Kinda.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up the new year because I also found if you start watching that movie at 11:13 and 50 seconds p.m. on December 31st, you will celebrate New Year's with those guys.
That's rad.
That is cool.
I like that.
It's interesting.
They're in that disco ball, like
when they're not
partying.
It's when they're fighting the dudes in the mask with the fish.
Oh, and they start saying 5, 4. So it
they
actually,
celebrate. They stop.
They were there. Okay, yeah.
They stopped to celebrate New Year real quick.
So it actually lines up with the real New Year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
That's cool.
I didn't understand the whole fish thing.
I had to look that up myself. I did research it. Did you guys?
Oh no, I didn't. The random fish in that cart that they had.
Yeah,
it was just like they supposedly put the blood on the axes to make it more poisonous, so like it's a more painful death or a slower death.
Oh,
that's
apparently.
what I figured too.
Yeah,
but I found something else about that scene. But you can finish what you're saying, and I'll go to mine.
No, that was the long and short of it. I'm anxious to hear what you got to say.
So that scene, the infamous Harvey Weinstein was in charge back then of the. Cause this was made by
the beginning. Yeah.
The Weinstein Productions or whatever it was called. Yep. He wanted to ixnay that whole scene because it wasn't graphic enough for him. And so the producer, Joon Ho, lied to him and said, "Hey man, my father was a fisherman, so this is my dedication to him, so I'm not going to take it out." And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't know." And so we can go ahead and keep it. And then he ends up telling, like, after press, he's like, "No, I just lied to that guy."
Yeah, I'm full of shit. That's smart.
I'm glad he did, so we could get that awesome visual, because that was an intense visual. Seeing like what looked to me like the Gimp, like holding this fish and then like smearing the blood on it, and it's like, what is he doing? And then you get the comedy a couple minutes later of like somebody slipping up on that fish, right?
Yeah, he's like kicking ass, and then like just whoop slips on the fish.
A Wile E. Coyote or whatever.
Yeah,
I like that part.
But yeah, up until that, they're doing pretty good. They get through the gates. They discover the bugs are made of the bars, and then they get, and then the daughter of the Korean guy. The Korean guy, he's the one that engineered the trains, the doors of the trains.
His name is I didn't write down his name in the movie, but his real name is Song Kang-ho.
Yeah, and he's
they called him Nam.
Oh, Nam.
Yeah. I did write that down actually. No. Yeah, it's Nam Goong.
Yeah,
his name.
Nam Goong is he like engineers all the doors, so they use him to get through the doors. But they want two, like, I don't know, it's a
Chronal.
It's their drug. It's like a highly flammable drug they just sniff.
It's waste.
Yeah, it's just
like
toxic waste from the engine.
But it makes them hallucinate though when they sniff it.
Yeah, makes them hallucinate.
I thought it was literal waste from like people, and that's why that guy stinks so bad.
You thought it was Jankum?
It's like toxic waste.
Jankum?
Toxic waste.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, it's like Jankum. I thought that's what it was.
No. It's from the engine.
Well, okay, so like he goes and he grabs all the chronal that he can from that one dude, and he's like, "Oh," like he's like, "Oh, you stink." And that's what made me think, like, oh, this dude's just collecting everyone's shit.
Some bright green shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're eating those protein
that movie's
bars.
also very dark and gritty. It's like, if you have any sort of glare, you're not going to be able to see anything. So I watched it. It was dark.
Speaking of dark, I got another tidbit.
Oh, goodness.
Okay.
So in that fight scene when they're fighting with the torches,
yeah.
According to them, they use zero lighting other than the flame from the torches to light that scene.
Oh,
Nice.
That's neat.
Impressive too.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good-looking scene, actually. More bright than the rest of the scenes, as you were saying.
With jets fire, that's cool. But yeah, right.
Yeah, it's one of the.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's one of the things that Wilford congratulates Curtis on. He's like calls it like the Battle of the Flames, and it like makes it like this epic moment. So I guess like when you rewatch it, like you have reverence for it.
Yeah, and I guess that wasn't part of their plan. They
Improvised.
Yeah, they improvised and got through and got farther than they were supposed to. I guess we'll cover that later, the twist. But yeah, they're getting through. Before they get through that door, the girl's he's like, "Are you clairvoyant?" Because she's trying to figure out. She's like, "Oh, open the door," and she tells him not to open that door, and they open it, and you see that gimp with the fish, but that battle scene was pretty cool.
It was.
I got another tidbit for you about that girl.
Let's hear it.
So, according to the producers, because she was born on the train, she has superhuman hearing, and that's why she can tell what's on the other side of the door.
Neat.
That's not nearly as cool.
No?
You just wish she had powers?
Well, okay, so on a train, trains are loud as fuck.
Yeah, but she has superhuman hearing. Not just regular hearing.
She's like, yeah, she's more used to like super sensitive vibrations, so she can like kind of feel her way through them, kind of.
Like, what's her face from The Last Airbender?
Toph.
Yeah, Toph.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought the fight scene was it is what it is. I'm not really much into action. I thought the scene before this was like what I really dug was them breaking Nam and his daughter out of prison. I thought that was really cool. The concept of prison they had.
Yeah.
It was super cool that his daughter was right next to him. And it was triply super cool that he had like the world's last 2 cigarettes and the world's last like 4 matches or something like that, which really came into play later on. It all came into play. So I was really more into that scene where like he smokes a cigarette and everybody's all in. Me and my wife were like cracking up at that scene. Everybody was like, "Oh hell yeah, he's got a cigarette." He throws it and they all scram after it. So I really dug that scene a lot. The breakout of Nam.
Yeah, when Nam flicked that cigarette and they just swarm it because everybody wants, all the old people that had, outer train experience, they knew what that cigarette brought, so it was gold.
When he lights it and they're all like, trying to inhale it,
Yes.
I thought that was funny. I would have been the complete opposite.
I'm glad cigarettes are no.
What the fuck is that thing?
Mine, man, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, no smoking inside. What are you guys doing?
That?
Not the '80s anymore. Jesus.
I know. The hell.
But yeah, that scene, the breaking down the jail scene was awesome. And then they, then you learn about Chronal, their drug and stuff, and
my wife was calling that cornhole the whole time, which I thought was a better name.
Yeah, that is great.
I do love cornhole though.
Cornhole, please.
Cornhole, please. But yeah, they're breaking through. After the fight scene, they just keep breaking through.
They take her hostage.
Yeah, they take one of the Richers hostage.
Mason.
My
favorite character of the whole movie. I love her so much in this. This character was great. It was totally like what we were saying before, the movie we were comparing it to.
Oh, Parasite?
No.
Hunger Games.
Speed and Highlander. Oh, no, Hunger Games.
Yeah, Hunger Games.
Yeah,
totally Hunger Games character. She was so funny and over the top.
Yeah,
she won the movie for me. When she died, I was like, I don't know if I want to keep watching this movie if she's dead. I don't know if I want to keep going.
Yeah, I was happy she died.
Oh,
I can't stand those characters so much. They're just like they're like a antagonists, and they're always like, I didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't me. Like, oh, it bugs me so much. But like they're just like they're selfish people. I don't know. That character, it's a great character, but I highly disliked her.
Yeah, she was a great character because she has to keep the face for every single train like she's in, and she does a great job because she knows what's going on in the front and the back. And when they get to the kid section, she's for the kids. She puts a little towel over her arms, and yeah, I like that character too. Because no matter what, she's keeping that face and kind of playing both sides if you do the movie until she has to.
In a real shifty way, yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that I laughed about that is like they gave her big time Austin Powers teeth.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dude, she looks like
So-
Mike
British
Myers.
Do you guys know who Tilda Swinton is?
Yeah.
You know, the
The
ancient, the
actress.
ancient one from Doctor Strange and other movies I can't think of. But that's her. And she had to be in the prosthetic chair for over 2 hours.
oh, just
Okay.
for
They,
her.
they put that much work into her.
Hmm.
Because it doesn't look like her.
No, it
No,
doesn't.
not at all. I think she takes her teeth out. She takes her teeth out at one point in this, right?
Yeah.
Like those teeth are not like actually real to her character either. And I don't know. I love these shifty characters that are unlikable because she was not likable by any means at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated her. She sucked, but she also like entertained me the most, is what I should say.
That part where they catch one of the guys hostage and he's like surrender, they're gonna kill me, and she's like, sorry, and then just lets him get killed. But when she gets captured, she's like, okay, surrender. Like,
I'll do whatever you want.
yeah, it's great. Like, whatever. But when it's her, she's like, okay, I'm sorry.
I guess we could move on to the kids' car because that was where a lot of like the plot moved forward, where they taught us like about the world and like why the train is the way it was. And I kind of like this trick that movie makers do, where they take a children's approach to explaining a complicated plot to you. I was on board with it. I liked it a lot.
I was too.
Just like the kids, I was cheering along and singing too.
Yeah, and they don't know any better. You could tell they're all like kind of. It's creepy too because all the kids are like kind of brainwashed. They're doing the little like, live forever.
They're dabbing.
Yeah, they're little dabbing with the. But yeah, they play the video for the kids, and then they do the little quizzes too. Can you tell us why this is here? It's going to be on your quiz, and yeah, it helps you understand. You're like, oh, okay. But yeah,
they're just brought up, learning what they are told. They don't know any better. They're born on the train. I think they look at what was his name again? The conductor.
Yeah, he's God.
Yeah, he's
Wilford?
basically God.
Wilford's God. Or no, he's Jesus, the train's God.
Oh, that's what.
Hey, there you go. Right
That's
on.
smart.
yeah.
But yeah, this is where we.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say this is like where also we learn in the same classroom, like Curtis and his crew like assumes that there's no more bullets anywhere, and they're going on that assumption, and that takes them a long way actually into the train. But when they get here is when the big reveal is, oh no, we have bullets, and so that's when they start shooting, and they start telling us about like the depopulation, I guess is what you call this, where they're gonna wipe out 74% of the population as per the harmony and the ecosystem of the train desires or whatever.
When they mentioned that, my first thought was like, okay, so who are they sending to the back? Are they just going to let the back of the train repopulate?
Or you're talking about who like deserves to be back there, and
yeah, because more people are going to be born, and then it seems like there was a bunch of kids in front. The teacher was pregnant,
Right?
So it's like, okay, once she has her kid and the population starts going up, are they going to send people from the front to the back? I don't know.
well, that's what at the end he explains that. He explains, 75% of you were supposed to die, and like some of us were supposed to die, and it's going to be an equal balance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Right.
Okay.
So it was planned to do that. I don't know what you would
They were
call it.
supposed to go
Collusion.
revolt and kill some of them, but they ended up killing too many, so they had to.
Kill
equal
Gilliam. Yeah.
Seems like your best bet would be like one of those ladies who were like had like their hair being done like on those big things. They're not getting killed.
Oh yeah.
They're probably be fine. So that'd be your best bet, is to be one of them.
To live on that car.
Yeah, you get to see all the different carts, and it I couldn't imagine being on that train, because if you want to go to the spot or the pool, because there's also like a little pool area, you have to like walk through people getting haircut, people the aquarium, this and that. Like you have to walk miles just to get to the pool. It don't seem like miles in the movie, but I mean, if it's 10 miles, you're walking miles just to get your hair done. Walking miles to go to the aquarium, because aquarium was pretty early on. So if you're living in the front, you're walking through the classroom, you're walking everywhere just to get to that aquarium. Well, yeah,
You're making me think about like the line, like that thing they're actually building in like Dubai. Have y'all heard about like the line?
Yeah, it's like a whole city.
Like they're building a city that's like 150 miles long, and it's just like skinny like a train, just completely long, and it's like supposed to have like many ecosystems within it and self-sustaining. It's not going to work, but they think it's going to work, and that's what I think about with this train. Is like I thought that it seems kind of like that kind of system. So I think that there's a bunch of hair cars that ladies get their hair done at. There's like 4 of them, like one each 2-mile radius or whatever.
Yeah, because
I guess I don't know.
They don't show any where any of the rich people actually sleep either. So
I know. I was wondering about that too. Because
same.
The tail had their bunks. Then the next one, or no, next after they fight the guards the first time without the guns, they come across an empty bunk one, and that's the end of the beds.
Oh yeah, and then they're like everybody left in a hurry.
Good point.
And like
they stay up all night and sniff chrome.
You just drop to the floor and sleep wherever you are. I guess. Like at the
'Cause,
party, you just lay down.
even Wilford or whatever his name was didn't have a bed.
Mm-hmm.
He had a kitchen table and some drawers with stuff in it,
And a chair. Yeah.
yeah, but no bed.
Steak.
Steak. That was probably baby, dude.
Oh.
They ate baby.
Well, they could make like they had like the fish, and they could add plenty of that. So couldn't they have like wildlife in there somewhere too? They didn't explain it, but I'm thinking they had cows somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, they would have to, right? Because he had steak.
Yeah. Well, that's what
Unless
I said.
they-
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Was baby.
You see them hanging from the hooks, and when they walk in the meat
Oh yeah,
locker.
you do.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
So they probably do have a livestock train. That explains.
Yep. Cattle car.
Skipped over it. Didn't film it.
Well, yeah,
We couldn't see every 10 miles. We couldn't see every
No
car.
way.
It'd be a long ass movie.
and
It
it was
there's so many sequels.
Yeah, and it was already pretty long too. But they, in the school, you brought up a point when they thought there was no bullets. I thought that was pretty cool. They thought like there's no bullets left in the train, and so they thought they were safe. And then the New Year eggs come, and when they bring the New Year egg, it's just basket filled with eggs. And then you
I love
find
she cracks the egg on the girl's head.
yeah, she's bonk. And then
but they find
they're just guns, and they just start blasting them. And yeah, I'm like, holy crap! There is still bullets on this train, but they just made for emergencies. And the back was they didn't think they were a threat. They could rule by fear only. They didn't need the bullets.
Yeah, and they got that car separating them from everybody else with all those guards.
Yeah.
You can't get past the GIMP chain car or whatever. But yeah, speaking of those eggs, like the Eggman that brought those eggs, that bald-headed dude with the baby blue suit. I don't know if you guys have been watching Barry on HBO, but he really reminded me of NoHo Hank. That's who my wife and yes, right? I mean, he had the same brow, the same mannerisms. It was pretty nice.
He's kind of a creepy guy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I haven't seen Barry, but yeah, that guy was creepy.
I think he's Victor Zsasz in Batman Begins, maybe.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, good call. He looks more normal in that. In this show, Barry, he looks insane. Looks like this guy, basically the egg guy. Which I thought that was a weird choice. Like what? Like there's raw eggs. Are they hard boiled or like Easter eggs with stuff inside? I didn't quite catch the drift of that. Did y'all?
No, I think it was because they can only eat sushi twice a year. So I think the chickens only lay eggs on New Year's, maybe. That's what I thought. I didn't
eggs.
know.
Yeah, that was hundreds of eggs. So, and the one that the girl he broke open to read the message that said blood in it. That was hard boiled. So I figured they're all hard boiled.
Oh, okay. There you go. Right on.
Because they feel it, remember? And they're like, oh, they're warm. They're still warm. Like,
oh yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Fresh out of the boiling pot.
Fresh out the chicken's butt.
They don't come out the butt. But
Yeah, so they
go ahead.
So they find the guns. They kill the majority of the cast right then and there.
Pretty much.
And then he gets past that point. Who comes and saves him? I forget.
Nam.
Nam?
Him and Nam get to the final door after everybody dies, and then they don't really name her. She's kind of a stern-faced assistant to Wilford, and I don't think she has a name. She comes out and shoots Nam, and we think he's dead, but he's not. And then she invites Curtis inside, and so Curtis follows her inside, and that's when we learn all the stuff in the end of Act 3.
Yeah, he's supposed to have dinner with Wilford, and then Wilford drops a bomb saying Gilliam was in on the whole thing.
We never mentioned Gilliam whatsoever. This is the first time his name's coming up in this show.
Yeah,
there's a lot of crucial.
Well, I brought Gilliam up a little bit earlier, but I didn't say he was a good guy. I spoiled a little bit of the ending. But yeah, Gilliam was Curtis's friend from the back of the train, and he was, I guess it was his idea with Wilford's, and I don't know what if they
So
were
Wilford
trading.
says.
Oh yeah, so he says. We don't know if it's true.
Because Gillian dies.
But that hidden phone in the tail section kind of.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what?
Because he has a way to talk to him.
What benefit does Gilliam get besides just? Does he
I'm
get
not
any?
sure. I wondered that too. I wondered if maybe during sleepy time, maybe he gets little extras or something, or
Something.
I don't know. I was wondering that myself, or maybe he's just a dude that likes to live grubby. I don't know.
Or he's like his number one follower, worshiper maybe. And
Yeah, he'll do
whatever.
anything. I'll do anything. Yeah, that's probably more like it.
What made me think is because Tilda's character, she knows Gillian. At the beginning, when they start talking, they're very familiar with each other, and that makes me think that Gillian was from the front of the train at one point. But
Yeah, I mean, he could have been.
Well, no, because he was in the back.
Yeah, because
from the beginning.
Curtis would have known because Curtis has been.
oh
there
yeah,
since
because
the
Curtis has
beginning.
been there.
Yeah.
Because he's the one who stops Curtis from eating Edgar
Oh,
as a
dude,
baby.
that was a cool twist.
I forgot about it. I hadn't seen this movie in a while.
Yeah. So
You gotta have a twist. Come on.
Yeah. So
Also, Jamie Bell and Tom Holland could be twins in this movie.
Dude, I
Those
agree.
dudes looked exactly alike.
who's
I can
Jimmy
see
Bell? Edgar?
Edgar.
Yeah, he looks. I had to pull up my iPad and really look at him. I was like, whoa.
I didn't
Pretty
see
awesome.
it.
Yeah,
Really?
they could have been. They could easily be brothers.
Yep.
Man.
But yeah, Wilford's dropping bombs on Curtis, and now that we know, we explained Gilliam, that they work together to lower population for the harmony of the train, for humanity of the train, and Wilford is telling Curtis that he should be his successor, that he wants him to be next. And for a second you think, he's thinking about it. You could tell he's kind of thinking about it, wow,
Yeah.
everybody I know is pretty much dead, and this is what I wanted. And he could run things how he wants, but he has to understand, you can't let the population get out of control, because then the harmony of the train falls apart.
Well, the train's already falling apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
That's what they did to the little boys in there doing what the machine's supposed to be doing. That's what that weird the religious motion is. It's that the little black boy. That's what his job was to reach in there and move that.
Just
all the
over
time.
and over and over.
Yeah, they explained that only people 5 years and younger could fit inside of there. Pretty sad.
Yes, this is why Curtis doesn't want to take over, because he doesn't want to have to be in charge of this atrocity. So he's like, no, I'm not really,
Yeah.
I'm not feeling this.
I'm not a piece of shit, so.
Not anymore, anyways. I ate
Yeah.
babies, but now I'm different.
Oh yeah, I've grown up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
because
almost chopped my arm off, but I chickened out.
Nom's daughter comes running in there. Curtis, and the match, and he like pushes her away. So you think, oh damn, he changed. He's a bad guy now. But then she opens a hatch and he sees a kid, and that's when he kind of snaps out of it. I feel like.
Oh yeah, you're right, because he was definitely thinking about being in charge.
Yeah, and then he does. He's he made someone chop off their own arm back in the day.
Gilliam.
Oh, Gilliam chopped off his own arm to save Edgar as a
Said
baby.
save my arm instead of this baby.
Yeah, and then kind of comes.
Curtis couldn't do it.
Yeah, couldn't do it, and then it kind of comes back around, and he puts his arm in there, and I thought it was going to get chopped off, but it gets stuck.
That was
it
a
gets
weird
chopped off.
scene.
It gets chopped off.
Oh,
Yeah, because he didn't have to stick his arm in there.
He had nothing else to stop the machinery.
yeah.
He could have found something.
Yeah, but
In order to get the kid out, though, that's what he had to do. There's no other way to get the kid out.
and it's sentimental because he had to do this.
Yeah.
He was meant to lose that arm.
Yeah.
Movie
it
magic.
sounds like.
Yeah, he had to. He had to sacrifice his arm for all the bad stuff he did. Karma.
Ah, that's one way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, just like in Highlander 2, like the world healed itself during this whole atrocity. So that's what it kind of like leads to, right?
Yeah.
I don't mean to jump the gun, but yeah, that's what happens here is like the world has healed itself as Nam predicted that, the world's kind of still cold, but it's livable cold.
Yeah, it's melting. He's seen the plane. And he's been tracking it for years.
That was really cool. Like,
How has he been tracking it for years? He's been in jail, right?
Yeah,
I was wondering that.
because he said the last time he saw the plane was 10 years ago, and the only thing he saw of the plane was the fin.
Oh, okay, before he got in jail.
Yeah, and then 10 years in prison or jail or whatever, comes out and sees that the snow has melted the plane almost completely. And then there was another few things that he noticed. What was it? He
The
noticed
7 leaders.
Oh, yeah, and then but he's like well aware that the Earth is warming up.
And it's when they're in that shootout in that one viewing car or whatever it is. He sees the snow come through, and he's like, "Wait a minute, this
Right.
is just
The snowflake.
this is just." Which it flashes back to that, but as it's happening originally, he just looks high. Just
Yeah, that's
zoned
right,
out.
because he was.
He was.
But that
Really,
that
he's noticing that stuff.
was gnarly.
That whole moment.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, you go ahead. What was gnarly?
I was gonna say it's gnarly that guy just shot through the window, he not knowing that it's cooled down. Like that could have compromised the whole entire train, and he just didn't care. He just shot through the window, and I was like,
I'm
Yep.
so happy you brought that up because that was the main beef that I have with this movie was that scene. You
Yes.
too?
That's what I was
Okay.
going to say when I let him talk. I was going to say the exact same
"Hey,
thing.
we're on the same
Oh my
page.
God.
Perfect."
Okay. So let me explain. So you haven't seen this movie. The train is going on a bend. So you can see straight across from the window, you can see the other side of the train, or not the other side, but the front of the train. And there towards the front, Curtis and all of his posse, which is so funny to me because they're like miles away from each other. It looks like,
Yeah.
And then he like just holds his gun out straight, no strafing. He doesn't do any math. I'm not a mathematician, or I'm not very good at math at all, but I know that you got to lead a bullet for it to hit its trajectory. Like, I don't know, that bothered the
They're
crap
going
out
like
of me.
this, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's just like pew 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 and like hitting miles apart. I don't know, that's funny. And then Chris Evans' character Curtis has a Uzi, a tiny gun like this big, and he's managing to hit this dude in the face from across the way. And I was like, dude, that is so
That dude was a beast, though.
Yeah, he
Like
was.
he was like the Undertaker if he was real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you see that point when he gets stabbed in the back, and he just stands that gun up and leans into it
and pushes
and
it
uses
out.
the gun and uses the gun to push the knife out of his back.
Yeah.
Like,
That was a
what
cool part.
fucking animal, man.
But
All
what
for what though?
Steve? What were you gonna say, Steve, about your biggest gripe about the that cart or that scene?
Was what
Exactly.
you said.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly that. And the fact that they were Chris Evans and then the other guy were like looking at each other for full on like 3-4 seconds, and they're shooting at each other. So I don't see how those bullets worked. A, but most importantly, B, it's supposed to be freezing cold outside. So now these windows are all busted up. So they're supposed to be bringing this atmosphere inside. So things should be happening here,
Oh, yeah.
and it's not happening. And that's like really the moment where like, you know, it almost lost me. If we weren't doing a podcast, I might have turned it off at that point. I don't know.
Yeah.
Me and my wife looked at each other like, okay, we got to really like stretch our imaginations here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's where like action movies nowadays are kind of at. They get a little too much. Where you're like, all right,
Taking a
They're-
Ford Fiero to the moon.
they're fantasy movies now instead of just plain action movies.
Yeah, they did a funny breakdown of Vin Diesel actually being superhuman.
Oh
the
my
Fast and
god!
Furious
Yeah,
movies.
that was
Do you see
so
that?
funny.
It's hilarious. They do like all the scenes where he has superhuman abilities.
Yeah,
And,
and they
it's
break
pretty-
it down. They break it down into like math. They're like,
I know what you're
okay,
saying. I get you.
he moved this car, so that means this car weighs this much. That means Vin Diesel can, and he moved it with ease without moving, like scooting back. So that means he's able to lift this much, and it's crazy. He turns out to be, Spider-Man.
He's Superman. Where he breaks the whole parking garage by stomping on it.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen a Fast and Furious movie since, I don't even know, Tokyo Drift.
I've seen them all.
I'm ashamed.
The only one I've seen is Tokyo Drift. That's the only one I've seen.
I seen
And
It's the worst one.
I seen
It's the
one.
best one.
I seen number one. That's it. Yeah. And I was like, I don't really like car movies, I guess.
But I got one more tidbit for you guys. Speaking of superheroes, this is the movie. You know that's the shawarma scene in Avengers when Chris Evans has to hold the fake chin on. You ever hear about that?
No.
No.
That's why he can't talk. 'Cause he's got a prosthetic chin
Why does he have a
The whole time?
prosthetic chin?
because he was contractually forced to have a beard because he was filming this movie.
Whoa!
That's funny.
So
That's
he's
So they had to
Wow.
put a fake face on him, but he just couldn't talk or move or it'd fall off. So
Oh.
in that scene or the end credit scene, he just does
Maybe I should do that.
put a,
$50 million chin, right?
exactly.
that's pretty funny though.
It's funny hearing him cuss because Captain America doesn't swear.
Yeah, he does.
He
He,
does
said, "This is
eventually."
America's ass."
Oh my gosh, that's not good.
And what else did he say? Damn it or something. And then they
can't
call him out.
remember. I love the character.
we
Should
didn't even
we
break
move
the
on?
end. The end, they blow up the
Oh yeah.
blow up the gate with the chrono because they put the chrono together like C4, and they end up blowing the side of the train open.
Blowing the train up.
Yeah.
The train.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess
It,
the whole everything self-destructs.
I guess I got one more little tidbit that I learned was the Nom's daughter and that little boy are the only two to survive.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering about that. If Curtis
the
survived or
producer-
not.
Nope, the producer says everyone but those two survived, and they're supposed to go on and repopulate the Earth.
That is so
Good luck with that
silly.
polar bear right
I
there.
know.
man.
Exactly.
That was gonna be my next thing. Is like the daughter of the dude who
Her name's
engineered-
Yona, I think.
he learned everything from the Eskimo woman that went on. Well, everything from his wife. You find out, right? Her daughter. But that never explains that if he taught anything to her to survive.
He kind
Yeah,
of did.
and that
Could he have?
What?
and that was the other thing. Like those two kids were born on the train. They don't know what the outside is, and now they're supposed to climb this mountain, fight a polar bear, and then repopulate the planet.
she's younger than 17 because she's been in that like sleep cell for like 10 years. So really, she has the brain of like a 7-year-old, actually.
Yeah, and then she didn't get the schooling from the other train. So she
like you were saying, she didn't get taught by her dad either. If she did, it wasn't much because they're just doing drugs and sleeping all the time.
Dang, they're screwed.
Yeah, probably. But
well, I mean, they made a TV show out of this. I know there's a couple seasons of a TV show, and I don't know if the TV show is like a prequel or a sequel or what. Do you guys know that?
I haven't seen it.
Me either.
So I haven't seen it, but I was digging in last night.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be a spin-off, but then they screwed it up because they named the train Snowpiercer, same as the train they're in already.
Okay.
Womp womp.
And then Mr. Wilford is a Sean Bean in the TV show. Not
cool.
What's his face?
Ed Harris.
Ed Harris.
That's pretty cool. I'll have to check it out because I did enjoy the movie overall. What would you guys rate it?
On the potato meter?
Yeah,
I really like that movie, but I don't want to go first. I'm shy.
I'll go 82. I
82?
really like the movie.
82?
We rank it, so we drive our name from Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
It's
You
a
said it.
spoof. I said it, and I always yell at them. I'm so
should not be named.
Oh, you can't say it.
Cut it.
but that's the so we're ranking it like they do.
But we're the potato meter instead of the memo meter.
I was prepared for that. I listened to the Parasite episode. I was prepared. At first, I was thinking to give this thing a 75, but then I realized that's like a C plus, C minus. I was like, it deserves better than that. So I'm gonna say 80.
80.
Whoa.
Yep.
I'll give it a C.
What are you going?
Yeah, what number C?
70.
70.
70?
Dude, yeah.
I was gonna go. I was gonna go in the 80s too, but yeah, I'll go 83.
Dang.
This might be
That's the highest. That's the highest score.
Yeah,
It's pretty high.
pretty good scoring movie. Because I mean, I thought Parasite was gonna, kind of be one of the perfect movies that we reviewed, but Travis gave it a 60.
65. I heard 65.
Yeah.
My bad.
All right. And now we're moving on to the draft of the best. On the draft, we're doing best graphic novels turned TV or movies.
And since Steve
the
is
draft
our
games.
guest, he can go have the number one overall pick.
Okay, I'll go with the one that I think is the most in danger of you guys being on y'all's list. The rest of these I think I'm safe. The first pick I chose The Sandman by Neil Gaiman. Became a Netflix series. Not the best Netflix series, but visually it was fantastic.
It was actually really cool. I didn't finish it, but I got through most of it. It was really cool.
Yeah, so I
What
think
I
that
saw.
was solid. I liked it a lot. That's my first draft pick.
Okay,
Majority
I'll
of mine are
go
movies.
second. I'm going to go with Image. They had a graphic novel that just recently came out on Amazon Prime, I think last year. It's Invincible.
Ooh, I knew it.
Nice. Yep.
I can't wait for season 2, dude.
Oh man, it's close to perfect for me when it comes to like them adapting the graphic novel into a show. They didn't change much, but they shortened it just sweet enough that it fit perfect. They didn't have to butcher it much to try to fit it into 10 episodes.
I guess I'll go next, and I'm gonna just point out the obvious one and say Watchmen.
I knew you were gonna pick that.
Watchmen's so good.
That's another one that's really like close to the source material. The movie, the TV show, I never saw, but the movie is really close to the graphic novel. I'm gonna go with Scott
I've heard
Pilgrim.
decent. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I've heard decent things about the show. It didn't get renewed, but I've heard it wasn't bad. But I've tried to watch the first episode and didn't love it. Where I love the movie a lot. So I don't know. Watchmen though, solid.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah, I didn't watch the show, but the movie was great.
All right, now I'm gonna go. It's Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, you.
Ooh, perfect.
I have that on my list too.
All right.
Too bad. Too
So
bad.
yeah, I gotta mark that off. Bye.
Which is also super loyal to the comic. So it's overall good. Great casting, everything. I loved it.
I've never read it, but I did. Like
I read
the
a lot of
movie.
it.
I'm in
But they were
lesbians with
redoing
you.
like they were doing an animated version, bringing back the whole original cast from the movie.
Yep.
Can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Do you know where it's going to be released, or is it just talks right
I
now?
can't. HBO
Netflix.
Max, maybe? Was it
I think
Netflix?
it's a Netflix series. Yeah,
Okay,
it'll be like a series, not a movie.
I'm gonna check that
That'd be
out for
cool.
sure.
And they're following the graphic novel, I think, faithfully.
Cool.
The OG cast. That's cool.
Yeah. I guess I was next, and in that same vein, I picked Ghost World, which derived from the graphic novel 8 Ball, which I absolutely adored Ghost World so much. Like, it was an indie film when it came out, and my wife and I drove to DC to see it. Like, we live in Richmond, so it was like a 2-hour drive to go see a movie and then a 2-hour drive to come home. That's how
Dang.
bad I wanted to see this movie. So, yeah, I got to pick Ghost World.
But it was worth it, huh?
Yes. Well, I mean, I guess. I don't know. It was a movie.
The guy with the mullet and the mustache, my girlfriend loves that movie too, and I walked in on her watching it, and that guy just stood out so much to me. I don't even know his name, but I was like, that character's cool. I like
It
that
is
guy.
a mullet and a mustache.
Yeah, and he's just punching air, and like he's just has a shirt
Karate
off.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just wild.
Mustache
know.
mullet
Cool
is
guy.
a good combo.
Yep. Watch the movie, Ghost World.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll check it out.
I watched it when I was a kid, but I haven't watched it.
It's a
been
solid
long time.
rewatch. It aged perfectly. It's great.
Oh
Really?
yeah, my turn. Sorry. I'm gonna go Flashpoint Paradox.
Okay.
I don't think I'm familiar with
Never
that
heard
one.
of it.
So
DC.
It's DC. The Flash kind of tries to fix his present time, but he runs so fast it kind of fractures time, and he thinks he fixes it, but he just made a different reality, and now like
Oh,
Bruce
you're
Wayne,
talking-
instead of Bruce Wayne's parents dying, Bruce Wayne dies, and his dad is Batman, and it's
And his mom is Joker.
yeah, and his mom is Joker because she goes crazy for
Okay.
losing a child, and it's really good, and it's kind of dark, but
And it's also what recreates the DC comics. It's the New 52 begins because of that.
oh yeah, but yeah, Flashpoint Paradox is my number 2.
Sounds like I should do that on Sweet Shot of Time. Sounds like my kind of show.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
The DC anime movies are really good.
Right on.
Much better than
Alright.
the movies.
I'm gonna go with Sin City.
Sin City.
Yep.
Yep, I knew that was going to be on
Very
yours
solid.
too.
What? Come on. I'm not
What?
that predictable.
Did you watch the
I
second
just
one?
know what you like.
No, I read the comic of the second one, and I didn't even enjoy it that much. So
The second movie was crap, but the first one's really good.
yeah, the first one, the cast is perfect, in my opinion. I love that.
Jessica Alba just looking hot. Woo.
Ron Perlman was in that too. Looking hot, by the way. Ron
Yeah,
Perlman.
was Ron Perlman the main guy with like the bandages on his face?
No,
Okay.
he was one of the main guys, but the main guy I believe was Josh Brolin.
I love Josh
Yeah.
Brolin too.
He's amazing, Thanos.
Cable.
But yeah, you got Bruce Willis before, well, that disease got him. That's
Mhm.
sad. I'm gonna be so bummed.
Oh wait, he has dementia. He
Yeah,
got
dementia. And
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
All right,
anyway.
my second pick is the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
You love that.
The world hates that movie, but I love it.
That is so
It's
weird.
so good. It's so corny. It's perfectly corny in my opinion. It's great. And it brings in a lot of the folklore from England, Van Helsing's wife, the Invisible Man, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
That's kind of cool.
And then
I didn't
Quartermain.
I haven't watched it since it came out, so maybe that's why. In my head, it's awesome, but if I rewatch it, it might not be.
Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen.
Well,
I still love it.
I won't rewatch it then, because in my head, it's freaking sick.
I'm always a fan of
yet.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I love them. Like, I think the perfect, or my favorite Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is from Van Helsing. You guys seen that movie?
Yeah.
With
I have, but it hasn't stuck with me.
That you should check out that scene. It's awesome.
It's the cartoon part.
No, it's like CGI. It's a dude who turns into Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde in that tower, the bell part, and
that's at the beginning,
one on one. Yeah.
Okay. I remember.
So good. Anyway, sorry.
All right, Steve, number 3.
Okay, there was a graphic novel like the late 80s. It was called The Big Book of Hell. Later became The Really Big Book of Hell. There was a certain character in there with a crazy haircut that later became known as Bart Simpson. That show became The Simpsons. So I'm going with The Big Book of Hell and Simpsons.
Really? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. Matt Groening. Yes, he did. He was a comic artist for a long time and created Bart Simpson out of The Big Book of Hell, and then went on to sell The Simpsons.
Oh my!
So that was the one that I was like, yeah, I got a great one.
Yeah, that is a great one.
So I thought that because I know it originally aired on HBO, right?
Tracy Ullman show. That's right.
Tracy Ullman. Yep. But I thought that's where it originated. I didn't realize it came from a comic book. That's cool.
I'm gonna look into that now. That's all. Because
Big Book of Hell.
I love The Simpsons, and we're all from Oregon. So I live next to. I said I love The Simpsons, and I forgot their hometown.
Springfield.
Yeah, Springfield. But if you go to
Shelbyville.
Yeah. If you go to Springfield, it's
Samsonite
covered in all the alleys are covered in characters. So there's like characters of The Simpsons all over Springfield in Oregon. It's really kind of creepy, but really cool. Because everywhere you go, there's a new character you can find, and some are like hidden, and I love it.
Sounds like a field trip.
Yeah, I love that. Heck yeah.
Oh, my third pick.
Oh.
Movie. I did TV show, movie. Okay, I'm gonna do another Actually, I'll do a live action since both of mine are animated. I'm gonna go with The Mask.
Hey, good pick.
That was my number one back.
Smoking!
When mine got taken.
I watched that movie so many times as a kid.
Oh yeah.
But not because of Jim Carrey, because of
Cameron Diaz.
Really?
Dude, oh my gosh, Hard Eyes. That was like one of my first big celebrity crushes. Was Cameron Diaz in that movie.
I just watch it for his antics.
Yeah. I'm older than you guys, so my son's 27 now, and he was really into The Mask too. So I had to watch it over and over and over again. So I remember it well.
Hey, at least it wasn't the second one.
Yeah, exactly. We did have to watch the cartoon a lot though, which was awful.
Oh yeah.
I forgot it had a cartoon.
Yeah.
All right, for my pick, I'm gonna go with, since Travis took my Scott Pilgrim, I'll just go with Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire.
Solid.
Yeah, is that a graphic novel?
Yeah.
That's just a novel.
It's a novel that became a graphic novel, that became a movie, that became a show.
Okay. I didn't know there was a graphic novel.
It works.
I don't read much.
I don't read.
I can't read.
I may not be a smart man.
I know what love is.
I know what thank you.
And Travis, your last, right? Or
Yep. I'm going with The Tick.
The Tick.
Oh, yes. That was on my list. Yes.
The original one with Patrick Warburton.
Right on. The original with Ben Edlund. Come on now. The guy who wrote The Tick. He's the guy who wrote The Tick.
Oh. No, I used to, because I have a huge man crush on Patrick Warburton.
Oh.
I love everything that dude's in. He's so funny to me.
Wait, was he the guy that was in Office Space who played the neighbor, or was that somebody else?
I think so.
There's
Big.
he has like a twin. He has like a twin that looks like him. That's also an actor. That's funny.
Lucky.
No, not a real twin, but there's like another actor who's like
that looks like him.
Who's like a type. Who's like a type of that.
Are you thinking the guy from Everybody Loves Raymond? Plays a brother.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. You got it. You do your research, don't you, Travis?
I watch a lot of movies and TV, so I know a lot of actors' names.
Yeah, that guy's hilarious.
Brad Garrett.
Wow. I'm terrible with names, and that's why we have you.
Yeah.
Not the only reason, though. Okay, to cover all the lists, Steve's, we got number 1 draft pick, Sandman, Ghost World, and The Big Book of Hell.
It's a good list.
And then Roy, we have Watchmen, Sin City, and Interview with the Vampire. And then mine is Invincible, Flashpoint, Paradox, and Mask. And I didn't catch your first one, Travis.
Scott Pilgrim.
Oh yeah, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and The Tick. I love them all.
Yeah, I think everyone's listening.
This is gonna be a good battle on the gram.
I'm most interested in The Big Book of Hell, though.
Yeah, that's a new one to me. I didn't know that was a.
Now, don't get excited. Bart Simpson shows up like very little. The main character is this rabbit named Bongo, but Bart Simpson, if you look in the panels, he's there a bunch of times, and Matt Groening like points to that Big Book of Hell. That's the birth of the Simpsons. So that's what I stand by, is Matt Groening's words.
Is that's still cool though?
Yeah, I think that's why I'm excited. It's just the connection is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys have any or can I know you guys' backups? Like your backup picks if you had any?
Yep, I had a bunch.
Oh yeah, you had 10. So let me go first if you had 10.
I bet you they're around the same.
Planet Hulk?
No.
I love Planet Hulk.
I was going to go Marvel, but
Umbrella Academy.
Solid.
Those were my 2 backups.
Well, I'm out.
you had what you had, huh?
Dude, I woke up from a nap and I came in and I was like, let's do this.
Oh, that's right. You're the late researcher.
Yeah.
I've only got 2. I've only got 2 also, and they're pretty obvious if you know me. Game of Thrones and Wheel of Time, which are both books that became graphic novels that became TV shows.
And those are
I
great
am
picks,
shocked
too.
that you guys didn't get these.
Well,
okay. Hellboy.
I had more, but these are the ones I were my top. So, like, I knew Hellboy.
Oh, I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's Hellboy, V for Vendetta, Kick-Ass, The Losers. Then I had The Mask and Watchmen.
Yeah. I knew.
Travis, I applaud you. Like, all your picks are super solid.
So good.
They're like right out of my head.
Yeah, so V for Vendetta I was going to pick.
Okay.
And then you said another. Oh, Hellboy, but I'm not the biggest fan of Hellboy, so I didn't put it down.
I like the new one, actually, with David Harbour.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. Like that Ron Perlman again.
Yep.
Yeah,
and I prefer the second one of those over the first one.
The Golden
Circle or something like that.
Something like that. I forget. It's good movies though. I liked them. Underrated in my opinion.
And then I was gonna put V for Vendetta on mine, but I was positive one of you guys was gonna choose it, and it didn't get chosen.
It's
So
one of my favorite movies, so that's why I was gonna choose it. But I was just stuck with I love comic books, so I just stuck with Marvel DC.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about Alan Moore or Frank Miller. Didn't even consider either one of them. So that's my loss.
Either way, everybody had solid picks. I feel like. I mean, mine was more for children, but it's cool. But Steve, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, man.
It was fun.
It was
Thank you
fun.
for having me. Very fun. Glad I met you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, and if you could just tell us what you have going on and give us your handles if you have them on the top of your head, so people could know
Oh, yeah.
where to find you
Of
and
course.
listen
I
to
do
you.
this. I do this every week, of course.
Perfect.
My band is Intro Void. I'm on Instagram at intro.void, and then my music is available everywhere that you can find music. I put out a single about every month or so. I just put out one in April. I covered the theme song to Dark in honor of starting my podcast doing Dark. So I have my newest single is called Apparat's Goodbye. I think it's pretty good. I like it. It's real moody. Then my podcast is a weekly thing, Sweet Child of Time. We've already talked about it here, and we recap Dark, and we'll be doing that. We're recapping Wheel of Time, and then we'll probably start recapping Flashpoint Paradox, because that really caught my ear.
That'd be awesome. I'd
yeah.
be definitely like, yeah. I mean, I'm already listening to the Dark one because I'm interested in watching Dark, but I feel like I don't have the time. But I drive for a living, so I just listen to it through you guys now just to get it. But yeah, if you guys cover Flashpoint, that'd be amazing.
Sounds interesting. Hope I like it.
Yeah, I hope so too. But you got anything else?
Were we gonna do the quotes?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we
I forgot about that.
Sorry, yeah, we end off a
Good call.
a
Something.
movie quote.
But I'm not going first.
Yeah, I always brain fart because I forget.
Me too.
I wasn't aware we were doing this.
You don't have
Oh,
to
yeah,
if you don't want to.
if you can think
Of course I'm going to play along. Come on.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But now you have to think of one on the top of your head, huh?
I had to Google.
Ding dong.
Looks like I
dong.
picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
What's that? Always Sunny.
Airplane.
Oh man,
I freaking love Airplane.
Airplane is hilarious.
I just watched Airplane 1 and 2 the other day too. All right, Steve.
I got one. We were just talking about this on my podcast just last night. When you grow old, you die inside. Anybody remember that one?
Yeah. What was that? What the fuck? I swear I just watched.
You got it, dude.
Come on, you
You
got
grow
it.
old, you die inside. Gosh dang it! This was a quote from the movie. We just no. Oh my goodness, you're driving me crazy. Just tell me. I know it. As soon as you
Breakfast
say it.
Club.
Oh my gosh, no!
You're
one
thinking
that-
of a different quote.
You were thinking.
I am.
Oh.
I think I heard it from Freaks and Geeks.
They probably stole it from
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, Breakfast Club was first.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of has the same vibe a little bit.
that. Yeah. Bunch of losers in high school.
Yeah,
Hey, some of those kids weren't losers, right?
yeah. So I'm
Emilio.
gonna go with, oh, that's you?
No, that's a good quote, but that's. I was just gonna go with "Get the corn out of my face."
That's a good
Nacho
one.
Libre.
How have I not quoted that yet? I'm gonna go with.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, dude, it's hilarious. It's one of my favorites.
I'm a Jack Black guy too. I don't know why I haven't seen it. I
Oh
just
yeah,
haven't seen
it's
it.
one of my favorite Jack Black movies for sure.
All right.
Well,
then I'll
And for next week's movie, you brought
Wait,
it up.
you gotta get one.
Yeah.
yeah, Roy's
did.
got to get a quote in.
Oh, he didn't go? Oh, my bad. My bad.
Anyways, that's the
Yeah.
end of the. I'm just. Kidding.
I'm gonna go with Dumb and Dumber. According to the map, we've only gone 4 inches.
I gotta rewatch Dumb and Dumber because Travis just quoted that like last episode, I think, or the episode before that.
Episode before.
Yeah, it's quotable. All right, so Travis, go ahead now.
You brought it up earlier, Steve. Our next week's movie is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah, we're going to go watch it this Thursday and then record that Friday.
Yeah, that Friday. But yeah, we switched to last minute just because it was. I guess it was just fresh. We haven't done a new movie. We usually just do older movies.
Mm-hmm.
Switch it
You'll
up.
get a lot of hits on that one. I bet you will.
Yeah,
so.
I hope so. Yeah, you want to cash us out, Travis?
Yep. All right. You guys can find us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify by searching the Bad Potatoes Pod. Find us on Instagram at Bad Potatoes Pod, Twitter at the Bad Potatoes _, and on YouTube at Bad Potatoes Podcasts.
And thanks for listening to another episode of The Bad Potatoes. And Steve, thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure.
Yep, it was real fun.
It was actually.
Thank you, Tater Tots. Appreciate it.
Peace out.
Hey guys, it's Michael
Roy.
And Travis.
with The Bad Potatoes Podcast. We talk about movies, pop culture, and TV, but mostly movies.
You can find us on Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify by searching the Bad Potatoes Pod. You can also find us on Instagram at Bad Potatoes Pod, on Twitter at the Bad Potatoes Pod _, and on YouTube at Bad Potatoes Podcast.
Please comment, follow, listen, subscribe, and don't forget to smash potato that like button. We appreciate it.